How you feeling? Talk to me.
Feeling magnificent.
Magnificent.
Yeah.
I feel like that is a great way to describe how you're feeling. Why are you so magnificent right now?
I'm on top of the world. I just got off tour. Just released a new song last month
Mm-hmm.
after being gone for 10 months.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm an independent artist for the first time in 2 years. And yeah, got nothing to slow me down.
How was your tour experience? How was that?
Awesome. It was really cool because a lot of the times you hear strange stories, a lot of people don't get along, they go on the road together.
Mm-hmm.
And I got along really well with Johnny and Oliver. And after every show, I'd talk and ask for advice every single night after I got off stage. Even if I had an insane performance, I would go and talk to them, and they would watch all my performances and analyze the same things that I'm talking about to them.
So did it get in your head the fact that they were sitting there watching your performance? Did you get a little nervous?
I got nervous maybe the first 3 shows, but the reason I brought one of my homies with me
Mm-hmm.
is because he's been touring for a while, and I wanted to get his advice and his peace of mind right before I went on stage, and he would be like, bro, you've been killing it every night. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. You're a superstar. You need to get on that stage and show them who you truly are every single night. Keep going. And he would tell me that right before I go on stage, and then I have a little team huddle with my band. Got along really well with my band, and we'd go on stage and we rock every night.
Can I tell you, if I was on tour and I was getting ready to go on stage and they're warming the crowd up, so it's all being warmed up. I'm sitting on my line or standing on my line. They're yelling EJ, EJ, EJ. I swear to goodness, I feel like I would have a mental breakdown. I don't know why.
It's honestly, you have to go at stage performing face first. You have to face your fear
Mhm.
right in the eyes and be like, I have to own this in every capacity. If I don't own this, then I look like a loser on a stage.
Right.
And so you have to own it to every extent.
So they're calling your name, right? You're about to get out on stage. You explain to me how you're feeling in that very moment.
I'm usually a little choked up, a little out of breath. I'm like, oh my god, and that's usually sometimes I'll just get nervous. The adrenaline will start kicking in. I start to get dehydrated really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Before I even get on stage, I'll get my mouth dry. So I'll be chugging a water right before I go on stage,
Mm-hmm.
just so I can go out there and have enough energy. I get dehydrated really quick too, because it's hard to drink a lot on the road as well. There's just a lot of fast paced travel.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Just hard to drink water?
Yeah, sometimes.
Why is that the case?
So many things going on.
And you're just forgetting to drink.
Yeah.
So before you go out on stage, are you nervous to the point that you're shaking?
No, never really too nervous where I'm like, shoot, I can't see people right now. The first 2 performances, I was my pants. I can't even tell you how much that changed from the start of the tour to the end of it. I fully discovered my stage presence by the end of the tour.
You know what's interesting? I talk to a lot of people and they say that they will get out on stage and they can't remember anything that happened while they're out on stage.
Yeah, you black out.
Is that a thing?
Absolutely. I don't remember 90% of the stuff that I do on stage. And a lot of the times I'm forgetting what I go on stage and want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Specific times, I'll just blank. And when you blank on stage, then the nerves start to hit you so much more. Every bit of energy during the performance hits you that much more. If you're going hard, you're going really hard. If you're nervous, you're really nervous, or you're really shy. If you're overthinking, then you're gonna overthink to a different level because all the emotions and the adrenaline, it's the same thing of the equivalent of being in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much the same. You're just so in it and you feel everything and nothing at the same time.
Would you say being on stage is hella addictive?
Absolutely. The second I get off stage, I get post-stage depression.
Do you really?
Absolutely.
And what's post-stage depression?
Thought of going from being the most loved person in the room to being the most lonely person in the room.
Who said that? Isn't that a quote? I feel like somebody said that.
Really?
Was it Janis Joplin or something like that? Where it's you go on stage and you make love to thousands of people, and then you go home and you're the loneliest person or something like that. Have you heard that before? I felt like
Maybe.
I felt like I've heard that before. So that's a thing.
No, it's fully a thing. Like, and it's only worse because hotels make you feel like the most trapped in. It's like instead of going back to your home and you're with your dog and you're in your bed and life's nice, like you go to a hotel. And for me, I still have so much adrenaline. So I'll be pacing back around my room, like just thinking because I have nowhere to go.
So what do you do to release that energy?
Um, I try to like go to like a restaurant afterwards, stuff like that. We would go to Olive Garden pretty much every night that there was one available to
Get
us.
some breadsticks and salads, unlimited.
Breadsticks with the Alfredo sauce. That's
Do they give you the side of Alfredo sauce?
yup.
I did not know that was a thing.
You know?
I'm about to go and get me some Alfredo sauce. And you know they do the mozzarella, not the mozzarella, but the marinara sauce.
They do that too.
Solo. I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Just dip it in the bread. It's like $5, kind of overpriced, but you know, it is what it is.
It's all good.
So, okay, so this is happening, right? You're out on tour. Are you constantly thinking to yourself, I cannot believe that I'm doing this right now?
That's like the only thought that's going through my mind. It's like I can't believe I'm doing this right now. How do I be the best at it? You know? You're just constantly critiquing yourself on stage. From the moment you get out there, like you'd be like, damn, that was lame. And it would be like a 3-second thing that no one remembers. Or damn, I missed that note. No one in the crowd noticed.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And all those things get to you. So even after the show, you'll be thinking about that. And then someone will be telling you, that was your best performance ever. And I'll be like, really? I didn't even feel like it. Like, it just felt like I was just doing my thing on the stage.
How do you, I guess, get your mind out of that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, focus on the good part of the performance as opposed to, I know I always understand like trying to critique yourself, trying to be better. But how do you, I guess, change your mindset on that?
I have to kill it front to back.
You do?
Yep. Otherwise, I'll critique every little part that I feel like flawed.
Even if Oliver Tree, he's in the audience, he's like, bruh, that was great. But in your mind, you're like, I missed the note. You're still thinking to yourself, I could have did that better.
Absolutely. Like, I've gone off stage, and unless I fully feel like this is my best performance, if someone tells me that is, it's still not going to get between me and my self-critique. I always look at myself from, like, my own third perspective and be like, I could have done something different.
I would assume being on stage is almost like an out-of-body experience.
Absolutely.
Like I'm looking at myself from the top performing. That makes sense.
You can't, you can only look at the people and the eyes looking right back at you. And it feels like if you're in a dark room, and if you've ever seen like Monsters Inc., where there'll be like 100 little eyeballs just pop up, that's what performing feels like.
I almost feel like that would be worse, being as though that people are peering into your soul as you're performing. Like literally peering it. You know what I'm saying? Like staring at you and peering into your soul.
Yeah, but you feel the judgment on everyone's face, whether it's good or bad.
Because facial expressions and stuff like that.
Always.
Have you ever been rocking out just in a crowd and you're like, man, I am killing it right now. You look out in the audience, it looks like everybody's having a good time, and you see one face that's just like
not having
there. Right, not having it. Does that throw you off as an artist?
Hell yeah. No, for the most part, I'll either A, try to ignore them and it still won't work, or B, just stare them down. And you have to. Like, if you're not going to have fun, I will make you have fun, and I'll stare at you until you're uncomfortable, and you better have fun.
That's why I feel like I could not be an artist, because I don't want to say that this is petty, but I would want to find that person after the show and ask them like, okay, so I looked in the audience, I saw your face. What could I do better? Just to acknowledge that I saw you throughout the concert and that you had that blank stare. Has that ever gone through your mind while you're on stage performing and you see somebody with a blank face?
No, you can't give them the time of day.
No?
Mm-mm.
Why is that?
Because if they showed up to personally just not enjoy you and to just enjoy one artist, it's like you got to show up to a concert ready to just have fun in general. It doesn't matter if you don't know their music.
Mm-hmm.
You can still have fun no matter what. And that's how I like to look at things. And so if someone has a negative opinion towards me or my set, I'd rather not hear it.
When did you discover that you wanted to do this?
I guess when I was younger, there was a lot of moments where I was like, dude, it'd be so cool to be. I always was like, Mom, I want to be a rock star, because I would play Guitar Hero with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
and then it was Just Dance, Michael Jackson, when that came out when I was like 8, and I played that. And then my sister was really into boy bands growing up, and so I always just had like an eye on music and what other people saw it meant to them, and that always affected me. And then when I was in, I'd say freshman year, I started to develop my own music taste,
Hmm.
and then it just kind of went from there.
How did you navigate that? How did you get noticed?
What do you mean by that?
Like, how did you end up here? Like, how did you get noticed? How did you get your music out there,
Mm.
per se?
Um, so me and my manager talked and had a conversation. She's like, Chase, what do you want to do in the next 3 to 5 years? I was like, musician. That's it. That's all. It's really in my mind. Just want to be a musician. I don't know how. I don't know anyone in the industry. She starting meetings for me, and met a few people, and I just told them I can't sing or haven't sang before, but I'd like to try. And it's like, I need your opportunity though. I need you to have a lot of trust. So they just started putting me in sessions just to see how it went, and then they liked it right off the bat, which is really cool. It's really a blessing.
That had to be a scary situation right there, just admitting that you had not sang before.
No experience,
None.
zero. Never been in a studio.
And I guess the first time you were in the studio is when they.
Were critiquing the music that I was giving them. It was just like, here, put you up in a room with producers and writers, and then as soon as I finished the song, sent it to them, and then they told me they liked it, and then just kept doing it more, and then they're like, yeah, I really see this for you.
Did they like all of your bodies of work?
Uh,
Like every song that you
like
turned
every
in?
song?
Yeah.
Oh no,
They didn't?
no, not everyone.
How many of the songs that you turned in, they were just like, nah, this is not it?
I feel like I realized that first, and I'm just like, nah, don't even send that one to them. So there'll be a bunch of like scratch songs. We'll do like multiple days with the same writing crew and producers, and then just kind of see what we can make. And then when we find the best song out of the bunch, we'll go and finish that, and then we'll send it to them, see what they think.
Who are the people that you trust in this business? Like, let's say you're in a situation where you're listening to a song that you did and you're like, nah, this is not it. I don't want to turn this one in. But somebody around you is like, no, I think you should send it in. It's really good. Who are you listening to and taking their advice? Like, all right, I'm going to send this in. Even though I don't like it, I'm going to still do it.
Um, Not too many people. I haven't built too many relationships with artists that I've like just sent back and forth songs with.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a few really close friends to me. I'd say my friend Seven, and I would say my friend Nanks, and who else? Probably have to say um, my sisters too. Yeah, I like my sisters. My sisters both have great music taste, and so I'll send it to them, see what they think, because they're at the end of the day the most real with me.
I guess because they can be, because that's your blood.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever veto anything that they say?
Sorry, I don't even know what that means.
Do you ever, like, even though if they're like, you know what, I don't like this, you're like, I'm still going to do it anyway?
Well, if they don't like it from there, I'll try and make it better, you know? But if I truthfully believe that this is a great song, I might keep it the same way it is. But uh, I do take like notes, like, okay, but what personally did you not like about the song?
Right.
What could I do to make it better? Because there could be like certain flaws, or if the whole song's a flaw, then then it's like, all right,
I get that.
just wanted to ask you.
Listen, I am stubborn. Like, even though I may ask somebody like, all right, how do you like this?
Mhm.
They can critique it and tear it down, and I will still not change anything about it, because that's
No.
just me.
A lot of the time that's the case. But if it were to be like a family opinion, if I wanted to ask my family members, a lot of time I'll take it into account.
Would you really?
Yeah.
That's
Or
dope.
like my friends that are really into music. I have a bunch of roommates that like current roommates, past roommates that I'm all like best friends with.
Mhm.
I'll ask their opinion on my music as well. The people that are just closest to me.
Absolutely. So, tell me about all of the things I hate about you.
Tell you a lot.
I'm all ears.
All the Things I Hate About You is a song I made in June,
Hmm.
and it's really fun. I started working with these writers. Names was West Period and Eric Ron,
Hmm.
and we went in the studio one day and just kind of explained to them like what I wanted to write about that day, and we went in. This is our first session together, and just jotted it out.
When you listen to it, it just seems very like passionate and personal. Are you ever, I guess, afraid of like when you're put your feelings and your passion and basically put your situation or whatever you write about out there? Are you ever afraid about like what the world will think?
Not really, just because if you're afraid of your own personal experiences, then you're never gonna be real enough with your own music. So
Mm,
I feel like the realer you get, the more people can relate to you and understand you a little bit more. And so that's why you can't show fear.
that's never a thing that you even think about. Like I guess because you're living in your truth, it's your truth,
At the end of the day,
and who cares what I guess anyone else has to say about it.
yeah.
Let us know what else are you working on.
Um, Ton of new music. I've been looking back at some of the stuff that I've made in the last few years for upcoming records. I've been making a lot of new stuff as well, and I just got back from tour, so I'm like ready to just keep working. I've got like 15 sessions prepped just for the next month,
Hmm.
and yeah, I'm ready to just keep going.
What is, before you go, one piece of advice that you've gotten from like someone that's an OG, right? That still, I guess, ends up being true to this day.
I don't know. There's a lot of advice I've been given. I feel like my dad was always right about people, and my dad always talked a lot about intentions and um like the treatment and of like what to expect from LA. And my dad's been on the nose about everything to expect from LA, which was like greed, which was um I don't know, a lot of people are for themselves. My dad's told me it's just too much about the city that turned out to be true.
Have you been in a lot of situations where it's like in LA where people are out for themselves?
Yeah, most of the time people are. It's sad reality of it. A lot of people are there to see what's beneficial for them.
Really? You think that that's the case?
With pretty much like I'd say like 95% of the people I've met in LA.
I feel like when you're asked like what do you do for a living, I think that's when it's like, but I think there are, some people out there that probably have a little pure intentions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a good few, but it's a matter of finding people. A lot of the time, like the harder you try to find a look for new people, the harder it becomes. You kind of have to just like love, just like let it come and find you.
You got to have some discernment essentially.
Hmm.
And just learn how to navigate through it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for your time.